Welcome back, survivors. It's Shay1 here, and today's video we're covering the best base locations in Ark ASA. Okay, this is going to be for 1x official mega tribes, like 50 plus people. Okay, and we're going to go from best to worst in order of what I think you should try to take. You know, like what is the best thing that you can take, so that way it's the easiest to defend, and then you kind of just move on from there. So if Carno's taken, then you go to 1010, and then a 1010's taken, maybe try it hard underwater, you know, yada yada, of like kind of what you want to take. The reason why I'm doing it from best to worst is going to hurt my retention, but it's not to waste your guys' time. So number one is Carno Cave. I think Carno is arguably probably the best base spot here in the game right now. The reason why is because you got to swim across whatever you're trying to raid across the entire water. You can get Tootheuses and you can kill whatever it is, like Gigas and Rexes and stuff, as they're trying to cross. Well, they're vulnerable, and they're completely vulnerable while they're in the water. So that's, you know, huge. And you're gonna see people coming way before, you know, they even start raiding you. Okay. Number two, the cave itself is also absolutely fantastic. If you come inside of here, right, the entrance isn't really too big. First off, you can walk some stegos down through here for sure, but then you have this underwater entrance. We can put like bassies and stuff in, which is going to be really nice. Used to help, you know, kill stuff. And then it opens up to this gigantic cave, you know, that you have a lot of space and room in. So these are the reasons why I think Carno is probably number one right now. I don't know if they've patched it yet, but there's a huge exploit which you could easily be meshed in Carno. I don't want to say what it is because I don't want people using it, but yeah. So on to number two. Number two, I'm probably gonna have to put 1010 Iceburg. The reason why is, yes, your team's gonna be sniped, but it is like, just like Carno, your people are gonna have to swim across with their Gigas and their Rexes or whatever, right? And they're gonna have to swim across the water, and they're gonna be completely vulnerable. And you can put towers on these pillars and stuff out here to, you know, stop Quetzals, to stop the push, and you're gonna see people coming way beforehand. Plus, once they, you know, get on the rock, they're gonna have to soak from the water, which is no fun. And then they're also going to have to get up top here somehow and soak this top part of the base, which is going to be very tough and very difficult. So I think 1010 Iceberg is a very good candidate for number two, and it also has a lot of space. Yeah, it can be sniped, but your teams can be sniped, and that is a problem, but it's, you know, very strong, especially for longevity. All right, the next cave that I'm probably gonna have to put on here is gonna be easy underwater. It's gonna be 53.7 latitude, 3.1 longitude. Okay, this base is absolutely phenomenal. I think it's better than hard underwater. The reason why is because the entrance is just a little bit tighter, so it's a little bit easier to defend, less turrets you have to place and stuff. And then there's also multiple choke points, which is very nice. It's going to be a little bit tough to defend this, but if you have a tribe of 50 people plus, you should be able to, you know, grind all that stuff out. And there's also just a lot of space back in here, a lot of choke points. It's underwater, so people really aren't going to want to come raid you, because really people don't like underwater raiding nearly as much as they do land bases. And then also you have to force people to get underwater dinosaurs as well to even raid with you, and so that's a huge one as well. So you're gonna have to prep long in advance in order to prepare to raid you. You know what I'm saying? And since you're underwater, you're probably gonna have an advantage with the underwater teams that you have anyways. And then, like I said, there's also multiple choke points in here that you can cut people off in, and there's just a gigantic amount of space for you to do whatever you need to do. And I think if you can get set up in here, I think you'll be here for a very long time. So next one I'm going to put is going to be hard underwater, coming in at number 4. I kind of already mentioned it. I think easy underwater is just a little bit to defend. Hard underwater, I think, has a bit more space. So I'm going to have to put easy underwater above hard underwater. But hard underwater is also a great base spot. You get a lot of drops and stuff down here as well. And like I said before, you're gonna need a lot of people to help you tame this thing. But once you get back in here, there's a lot of space that you can use, and you have a giant choke point like right here, you know, with turrets and stuff that you can use to block people out. So it's a really strong base spot. And also with easy underwater, if you get set up in here, I think you're gonna be in here for a very long time. And also, same thing for all the underwater caves. I'm just gonna say it now, is they have to get underwater dinosaurs to really even be able to combat you if you're online. So that is, you know, huge. And also, people don't really like underwater ratings, so you tend to get messed with less. And you're underwater, so people aren't going to be able to snipe your tame. So it's a really, really good spot. So we move on to number 5. So number 5, I'm going to put Lava Cave at latitude 74.2 and longitude 92.3. Right, if you come over here, it's just kind of across the street from Herbie and in between Herbie and in between Green Knob. If you come down here, here's the cave entrance. The cave entrance is pretty tight, and that's pretty cool. You know, that's nice. Obviously, the less room for them to work with, the better. And then it expands to a very big area, which you can use to put a lot of tames and stuff in. So Lava Cave is definitely really, really strong. But yeah, so I'm definitely have to put Lava Cave at number 5, mainly because your tames can't get sniped. It's a long entrance, so you have a lot of room to defend. You also have a lot of space inside the cave itself, and then on top of that, it's kind of a tight and narrow entrance as well, so that's very, very nice. So the next one that I'm probably going to have to put on is Pack Cave at 71.6 and 57 latitude and 57.1 longitude. Okay, if you come, I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe. It's right here in the middle of the map next to Green Knob. If you come down here, it's a little hidden, and then you can just find the entrance right here. What I really like about this cave is it's kind of like a narrow entrance and stuff. It does split off to 2 things, but it comes back into one like little choke point, like right here. So you will be able to defend it, and then the cave opens up massively, like really, really huge. And if you want to choose to put more turret walls down here, like you can. But the cave, as you can see, just fucking boom expands, right? So it's a really good cave. I'd even put it above ice, and it definitely has a spot on this list at number 6. Alright, so coming in at number 7 is going to be Ice Cave. Now, I know I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for putting it so low on the list. It's right about the middle, but it really kind of deserves this spot. Number 1 is you're next to 2 of the best base locations in the game, Carno and Ice. Right, and those can be very, very high contested. Also, easy underwater is kind of nearby, and so is a couple good land-based spots just south. And on top of that, the popularity of this cave is humongous, right? So it's going to be very contested, and everybody's going to know that you're built here. And you're definitely going to get scouted and attacked. So it's going to be a fun cave to build in, that's for damn sure, especially if you like base defense. But one thing that really screws this cave over is how big this entrance is that they made it. And it's just so much wider here. I mean, like, it is nowhere near as, you know, good as it used to be. It's definitely better than some other spots on this list, but that's why I'd have to put some other caves above it. And yeah, so however, I will say this: Ice Cave does have an ungodly amount of space, and it's gonna be definitely very, very fun to build in. So yeah, Ice Cave, and you're next to a bunch of resources, so it's definitely a great spot, and you can definitely get really big in here. I think in the current meta, it's not the best. All right, coming in here at number 8 is going to have to be Herbivore Cave at 40.4 latitude and 46.3 longitude. What I really like about this cave is it has a very long, tight, narrow entrance. It's also in the middle of the map as well, like not dead center, but it's pretty in the middle of the map, so people have to walk a long ways to get to you. And so if you have an active tribe, you should know that they're coming before they hit you. And then this cave, you could just put massive amounts of chokes. And it's kind of tight, but once you really get a bit down in here, it starts to open up to like a little area like this where you can use to like breed some bigger dinosaurs. So it's very, very nice. I could definitely see some big tribes building in here. Not necessarily as the first option, but that's why it's coming in at number 7. But it's definitely a solid base spot, even if you're like a big tribe looking to take over the alpha tribe on a server, right? So definitely check out Cleaver Cave if you haven't already. So the next one I'm put on here is gonna be Pearl Caves. There's a bunch of different Pearl Caves over here on the map, so I'm gonna drop a map on screen now of all of them. Feel free to pause the video, and I can't go through them because this video would take way too damn long. So I'm just gonna go over this one at latitude 93, longitude 96.3, just off the back of Herbivore Island. If you come straight down from this point, you're gonna see like this little like rock foundation, and want to come down in here, under here, and then pop up, and then boom, right, you're inside. This is great because you can, first off, you're underwater. People are gonna have to get underwater tames to really even mess with you. Number 1, number 2, people don't really like raiding underwater, and then also number 3, you're not going to get scattered as much. There is a good amount of room in here, not as much as you'd really like for a bigger tribe, but it's definitely a great spot to put down a base or something, and be able to defend it, and then have a breeding base somewhere else. So number 9, I'm probably gonna have to give it to Pearl Caves. Number 10, I'm probably gonna have to give it to Volcano. If you build right up top here on Volcano, this is a great size for to put down a base and stuff, a crafting station, yada yada. And you could help I don't know, figure out a way to be able to breed your tames off the side of Volcano. It's gonna be very, very annoying for people to raid you because you're very, very high up. However, I will say the damage that you take here is like, I think it's 4x cave damage. So it is a lot of damage. You don't one-shot foundations with the C4, but you'll two-shot them. And so it's a lot of damage when you're up here, but it's going to be difficult for people to even really get you when you're up here because, you can't walk a stego up here. So the only way to really do it would to be, number 1, would to build up and to take a lot of resources, in which you're going to see a lot of, coming. And you're going to be able to stop that well in time. And then number 2 is they could soak with the Quetzal. And if you have stuff, you could just snipe the Quetzal out the sky. So I don't know, I think it'd be an absolute really, really good base spot. I think it'd be tough for breeding, but I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out if you're a bigger tribe. But this is definitely a great spot, even with all the extra damage that it takes. And you're in the middle of the map too, so people have to walk their teams even a long way to even get by to support. So I'm definitely have to put this definitely deserves a spot at number 10. All right, at number 11, I'm gonna have to put North 1 Mountain, right? The reason why is because you kind of got a good enough size up here to build like somewhat of a crafting station. You're obviously going to have to keep a lot of tames outside, and it's going to be difficult to breed, but it's also going to be difficult for people to like really get up top here. As you can see, it's very, very steep all along the edges, and the only way to really get up here is through like this like mumble jumble area, which should be difficult to defend, but it's also going to be difficult and annoying to raid. So definitely gonna have to put it at number 11 here. Number 12, we're gonna have to put single pillar. The reason why is because it's elevated. Not a lot of space, but there's a lot of space below for breeding, which you can somewhat protect. So it should be hard to soak. It's gonna be a little bit difficult to defend. Your tames can get sniped, so it's definitely not ideal. But if you need a place to get started, this would not be bad. Number 13, I'm gonna have to put Herbivore Island. Like Carno Island, you do, and 1010, you do have the benefit of them having to like swim over, but what you're gonna have to worry about is gonna be turret rafts that are just gonna pull up and stuff. So that's gonna be very tough, and the island's not very big, so you don't have much room for really defending or for breeding. So it's gonna be a little bit tough. It's definitely gonna have to be a very vertically tall base, but it should be okay at number 13. At number 14, I'm probably gonna have to put this wide open area right here just for a giant land base. You can't really get anywhere nearby, like there's no like uphill ridges or anything like that. It's just a wide open patch of grass right here at 48.6 latitude and longitude at 84, right? It's just a really wide patch of grass and stuff, and so you could really build a giant base and kind of figure it out. You could really just build a giant land base. It's going to be, much harder to defend than a cave. But, if you're interested in building a land base, now's the time to do it, since there's no cryos and you have absolutely all the space in the world here as well. All right, now for the last and final spot at number 15 is going to be Log Cave, Sky Log Cave, right? This cave is a crouch, so that's the only thing this cave has going for it. It has absolutely no space. And you are right in the center of probably most of the big bases on the map. So Skylog is definitely going to be a very tough one to put any like higher on this list. I think 15 is a good spot for it. It does have a crouch, so that's the only thing it has good going for it, and the fact that you're close to a bunch of resources. But it's very, very small and very, very confusing as well. And so it's just really not a great cave. But if you need something, I wouldn't be opposed to building in this. All right, so that's it. That's my 15 I think best places to build on the island, right? For like big tribes, like 50+ people tribes on 1x. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Hopefully I ranked these correctly. If you think something should be ranked higher, lower, please tell me why. And then I want to be coming out with another video for best places to build for small tribes and for unofficial. So I'll do those as well for island, and I'll do those for every single map. It'll be a complete series. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed, and may God bless you all.